Welcome to Skate World. In this series, I talk to local skateboarders and what they bring to community, how they've seen the community grow and be nurtured in the years that they've been skateboarding, and also talking specifically about the local skate parks, and one in particular, Canora Courts. Canora Courts started around 2 years ago. A driven space in Edmonton, a DIY skate park that is welcoming to all. Community members saw an unused space and saw an opportunity to create something there, create something for the whole broader community. So in this series, I talk to the incredible community members who have had skateboarding mean so much to them, and they in turn have offered so much back to the community. So let's take a look at the DIY skate park that is Canora Courts, and in general, what skateboarders have to say about Edmonton, the growing community here. And I hope that listeners find these stories in Skate World that they really show the growing inclusivity and growing nurturing of different people, different styles. Edmonton is becoming a really special place for skateboarding now. There's community groups that bring women and LGBTQ plus riders together. The interviews will also highlight the exploration of the world of skate culture and the beautiful emblem of friendship, identity, and community that it actively provides. So in this series, I talk to people and I specifically look at Canora Courts. No matter your skill level, your ability, or your connection with skateboarding, whether you've been skating since the 90s, whether you just picked up a board yesterday, whether you're just admiring the skate photography and community gatherings that happen at these skate parks, everyone's story is important. And I hope that Skate World shows that. So let's jump into today's story.
This is a great space just to be yourself, do the things that you want to do, super mellow. And that's the point. It's supposed to just be safe and secure for everyone. I've had a lot of people describe this as skating on their driveway, and I take that as the biggest compliment ever because that means they feel like they're at home. And for me, that's amazing. That, bring a tear to your eye if you're not too careful, right? Hi, my name is Nick Steinhubl. I am the coordinator of Canora Courts here in Edmonton, Alberta. We've been a skate initiative here in the city for nearly 3 years now, and we are proud to say that everything is going awesome.
Now we're about midsummer,
Yep.
And tell me about how the community at Canora Courts is going this year, kind of looking forward, what's planned for the rest of summer.
We just have another event planned for the end of summer here between Otterly Rad and ourselves. It's just somewhat of a brand launch and a community bringing together because the brand is from here. It's made by a local, his name's David. He is a great individual and a hard worker, and I'm happy to be supporting him there, and it'll be happening around the end of August there. When it comes to the current rapport with the community, everything's going good. We've had some graffiti issues recently, but we're getting that all covered up and dealt with. And other than that, it's just summer's coming by quick and coming in hot right now. So everyone's just trying to get what they can when they can and just enjoy the time in the space when it's not 40 degrees, when the sun's bouncing up back at you.
You're really inspiring. I met you a couple years ago through Canora Courts, how you're a community connector and bringing people together. And I remember you the last time I chatted with you talking about Otterly Rad and had the pleasure of meeting David today and learning about his brand, and that the otter is like a symbol of community and bringing people together. How do you feel like Canora Courts brings people together, or how have you seen the community expand and grow?
Canora is a representation of what nothing can bring and make of something, basically. This was a faint idea for someone's birthday that turned into a whole community backed project, and it's all volunteer based, so everything that's involved is the labor of love for many of us. And when those types of people all begin to work together, and other people in the community who may not have traits like that but have great other things about them that help bring community together, like personality, skill, identity, and things like that, it really, just like this year, the fact that we have a third year of this speaks millions. We've just been able to have beautiful moments on a quiet day and on a busy day. It is a spot where people have come to find relaxation but also meditation, and I feel for a lot of people that's important. And over this last year I've seen it in response on Instagram, and even when I'm here in person, people treat this place like if it was their own, and I think it's just bringing more of the idea of that I have to keep it clean and keep it safe for others before and after me, type of thing. So I think that's what's been really highlighted this year, is the willingness from the other communities coming in and just helping it stay clean and safe for others. I think that's the big achievement of this year, other than all the wonderful events, of course, but the upbringing of just even more community awareness.
Go back a little bit to kind of day one, that first time you came here, and you mentioned like taking a hoodie, sweeping it, like, yeah, kind of your inspiration again from day one.
The inspiration from day one was just to make it feel like we were in a spot that was familiar and safe to skate. I guess is the best way to put that, articulate that, yeah. Would be that, even on the most intimate of days, you can come to a spot that's not even where you're familiar with and come and have a good time. And when I speak of that, I'm speaking of my friend's birthday. And we came here because he knew of the location through life and passing it by. And, when we showed up, it had no life, so we gave it a second life. And, the energy, I used to say that a lot, energy from things, and a lot of positive energy came from that. And as a result of that, since day one, that's what we've been about, is just hearing people out, making people feel heard and seen, being cooperative, and also being compassionate to others that may not see alike to us, in the sense of, why is a skate park here? Why would people want to use this? And almost every time we've mentioned it to someone, they've totally understood why this is here. And we've seen a lot of new skaters grow from this, and we've seen a lot of just more realizations of how other communities work because of this. Some people don't get how skaters work and don't get how artists within skating works. There's a lot of eclectic people, a lot of forward people, a lot of people who stand back and are afraid to show who they are. Canora is a space that's given that opportunity for every single one of those people to take advantage of it and of that type of space they need. Sometimes there's a big event and it gets too freaky for some people, but then sometimes you come here at noon or at 7 p.m. and it's quiet and there's just neighbors playing in the park and you can just skate and hang out and be in the moment. And I think that's something that's been another staple for us since the beginning, was being in the moment with people that you love, your friends, other people you don't know. At the end of the day, that's what's so fun. That's what connects us with skateboarding. That the grind for a trick, or the sweat that you all commonly share, or the pain that you all commonly share sometimes too. So I think that's been very much so our message since day one, just fostering a good area for people to be themselves and feel safe and feel seen and heard.
The people I've talked to today, yeah, some say it's when you grow community, then you can feel like really comfortable entering these spaces, and sometimes you'll each have your individual headset on, but then, see a friend and kind of get together and start skating together and cheering each other on, whether you do a simple kick turn or like crazy trick.
Notorious. Someone can do to them it's just a whatever, but to me it's everything. I've said this before and I'll say it again, even the littlest things are a big deal to some people, and even if it's not to you, to me, I can tell you've been working on it. So it's like, heck yeah, you give them the woos and the whistles and the board taps, and it's very much so that type of space.
The other day, Tigers had a meet up here and I came. It was really nice and just like super chill, super relaxed, just everyone going back and forth on the obstacles or the flat part. Nice that there's the divide, like the side with the obstacles, but it's also DIY, so you can kind of move the obstacles and design the park how you want to fit
100%.
Skating.
I'm a big Lego person, so in my wintertime activities as well, and that was a big brain itch for me when I was starting to do this all the time, was you can just build whatever you want, make how you want the structures to be. It can be one thing or everything in one thing. To me, that's what keeps the wonder. There's some parks that you go to in the city, any city, from the early 2000s in particular, and it's like, wow, you really have to make the fun for this. And if your local park or your city doesn't want to have that new infrastructure for skateboarding, it can be really dull and not as appealing to want to skate. So I've had people be like, this has reawakened something in me, it's helped me zone in on what skateboarding really is. I've gotten all those sorts of compliments about this place, and to me that's why I say it's almost like a meditation. For some people it's enlightening, and they feel something come back to them. Is it childhood? Is it that extra oomph when they do something? I don't know, but I've gotten those compliments. So, and to me, that just makes me want to do it even more.
Also comment on the growing community you've seen, like you've been in the skate scene for a long time, the growing women skating and queer skating.
There is so much growth in this community in the last 3 years alone that You know, there's still lots more growth, of course, always to be had. But when it comes to the idea of everything like that, it's so positive. You know, the Tiger Skates, there's, I think the Rockettes, or I forget the names, Roxy, I forget, but...
Like roller skate?
There's like roller skating crews
Yeah.
that I've been seeing coming up. And to me, I involve them in skateboarding as well.
Yeah.
Because I've always looked at roller skating and rollerblade, not as skateboarding, but we use urethane wheels, so in my head, we're part of the same type of club. And what I've seen is a crazy like merging of community through that, in through the girl scene and the queer scene here in Edmonton, and that's helped merge a lot of people. It was for a lot of those people like a moment of like, oh, times are changing, things are fun now, like people aren't so serious about how people think, and they are, but in the sense of keeping everyone safe and included, you know. And I think the scene's really pushed into that direction in the last handful of years, and the fact that Canora can facilitate that type of environment just makes me feel so warm. Makes me feel like even though in my opinion, I'm doing the bare minimum, but I know for so many people that it's like the mountain. When it comes to skating in Edmonton, there's still lots of growth to be had on many fronts. But I think we are pushing it in the right direction now, that communities are understanding it more, individuals are understanding it more, businesses are understanding it more. That is just the growth that we do need. And having such beautiful representatives from each group of people, but at the end of the day, the representatives of groups within what we do, and that's so important, because for a long time Edmonton struggled for that. You know, we'd struggle just to get people to come to the skate park meetings, you know, so the fact that we can get people to come to events and create community that way just speaks loads of what people desire, that what they truly want in community, in what they do is community, safety, and growth, and it's so important.
Canora Courts, and you're great at facilitating community and growing it. Can't imagine if this wasn't here.
Yeah.
It's so hard to like imagine. And
I said to a friend one day, we were sitting here, and he goes, do you think this would happen without Canora? Like, do you think something like this would have happened? And yeah, I think the inevitability of something like this is so... It's like it's always going to happen no matter what. It's like, is the wind going to blow? Like, it's in skateboarding, something like this is bound to happen. And Edmonton does have a rich DIY scene, but it's been so inaccessible due to where they are. The fact that this is in such a central location, it's just like a nice localized zone. I think it's the perfect happening, in my opinion. If a divine being or the universe willed it, whatever, at the end of the day, it's the skaters in the city that are making it happen, and that's so important.
And I love all the documentation that people get when they come here and like sharing that. And I think even the photos and videos I've shared, people getting excited. Where's that place? And that's so cool. And oh, that's actually in my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's actually been the biggest joy of helping do all this or running this, is seeing the appreciation through outer community and the inner community here. And but also the people that would call themselves locals of this park. The documentation is big. And if this were to ever go away one day, we will have such great fond memories of it that at the end of the day, we might actually just get a skate park in this neighborhood because of an initiative like this. Like, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to show the city that no matter what initiative is going to happen and what we want will happen, documenting it is just putting it more in solid work and proof. Look what happens when people actually care and want to be a part of something. For a lot of us, it's an absolute pleasure. And you know, when I see those photos, I just grin and laugh. You know, when I see the videos of the never been dones and the already been dones, I still like them and share them and make sure the community of Canora sees it all happening.
Do you see a lot of community members coming by and going, oh wow, like I remember one day when I was here, a guy and his dog walked by. Wow, I've never seen so many people activating, like using the space. This is incredible. Like, what's going on here tonight?
Since day one, we've had people come by and be like, thank you for doing this. This is incredible. Thank you for facilitating such great events. Thank you for this. But a lot of the community is in enjoyment of this. And I was talking to a community league member today, actually, and he was mentioning just what it does for the neighborhood and how great it is. And being in communications with them has just been such a delight. And, you know, and that's what's so important. Yeah, and that's why a lot of people enjoy it, because they benefit a good time, a nice, enjoyable time from and they get to see people work hard on a skateboard, get a trick, and to them it's just a whatever, but to people in there, it was quite a fun moment.
Oh, anything else you want to add about the overall growing skate scene in Edmonton or Canora Courts?
Yeah, when it comes to Edmonton as a whole, we've seen a lot of growth. Everyone in the city here through means of community, means of throwing events and having more interaction with the city. Local shops like Rumor throwing skate training stuff, shops like, even like Easy Rider throwing like longboard events for the older skaters, or, like an event like today where a shop like Boredom, local, Rumor, and Industry from Red Deer, people from out of the city coming and supporting us. That's huge, because a lot of people have always made Edmonton feel like a long, distant area that nothing like this happens, and I want to build something that will lead up to even more one day. One day we'll have a park downtown. We have the prefab, but one day we'll get something better. The last day I have on this earth, let's hope we can get something like that, and cities like Calgary have always been such a great example of that, and we kind of take some tips from all over the big meccas in the city, in the country here, even across the globe, and we try to apply them here, and a lot of them work really well. So the future of Canora is bright. Skating in the city is even brighter, and the future of community, if it keeps going this way, it's going to be amazing. Right now we'll take it one step at a time and enjoy the rest of this season and everything that comes with it. That's repairs, which will come, more little events and stuff on Instagram. We try to do anything and everything to keep everyone involved and busy.
So are there any new obstacles we can expect this summer? Or I think some new ones were dropped off maybe in the last week or so?
Yeah, 100%. So we had Go Skate Day last month, almost a month to the day. And 9 times the local shop on White Ave, they donated a nice bank, steep bank like this, and one big side wall. That's a steep bank. You can grind the top and have a lot of fun on that. They donated that purely out of love for the community, and we skated that for Go Skate Day. And then we have some local heroes, legends in my opinion. Mars Times and Nathan and a friend named John, they all are building a nice little fun ramp that should hopefully be here anytime. They're kind of like Batman. They move in the shadows when they can and figure it out.
We'll never know when it arrives until it arrives.
And then when you run into them, you tell people you did and they don't believe you. So
I swear I saw that.
Yeah, 100%, right? But yeah, that's the rest of the season, and when we go into the winter, it's going to be about keeping the wood fresh, keeping everything weather treated, ready for the winter and all that, to see if we can maybe dismantle some things and refurbish some things by that end of year, which will be around October. We typically start pushing things into the corners around end of October. Sometimes it has to be the end of September, but we haven't had that since the first year. So we technically skated all year round in Canora. This year that was a phenomenon, but I'm expecting to have to get some things to elevate and strap down ramps and get it ready for the ODR season, because Canora is a big hockey community as well, so they love their outdoor hockey. We just try to keep it out of their way and accommodate. So that's the plan. It's nice and easy, and just looking forward to next year, already planning events for next year. Even though it's once a month, we still have to plan ahead and start getting organized. As the new year rolls around, it starts becoming deeper, and that's a year from now, so we'll see.
Well, thanks so much, Nick. There's anything else you want to add or say, or just shout out to Canora?
Yeah, shout out Canora, shout out all the local shops in the city. We have local, 9 times, Rumor, Boredom, Easy Rider, The Source. All those shops continuously go above and beyond when really they don't have to, because they understand the same type of mission statement I'm on. They just want to see growth in the community and people skating and having fun and being safe. They just want kids ripping, they want everyone ripping, having fun, and just a lot of fun ahead and a lot of just bringing people together.
Well, thank you so much for all the work you do for Canora and for being so awesome in the community.
Thank you so much, and thank you for everything that you do. And the love of documenting things is something that a lot of people overlook and truly don't understand the method of it, and thank you. It just gets me inspired.
Thanks so much. Always a pleasure to share your story and the story of Canora Courts. I hope these Skate World interviews serve as an inspiration point of how you can get involved in your community, have a great idea, small or big, and just take the steps to make it happen. Again, whether you've been skateboarding for a day or many, many years, your story is very important, and thank you to everyone who shared. Thank you to the Edmonton Heritage Council for supporting this podcast series. Skate World looks at a local DIY skate park that is very important in the community. Thank you for realizing these stories are important to tell. I hope this series offers you creativity, inspiration, and a sense of community connection.